This is lesson 5-7, inequalities in two triangles. So the first thing that we're going to learn is called the side-angle-side inequality theorem. This is also known as the hinge theorem. It says if two sides of one triangle are congruent to two sides of another triangle and the included angles are not congruent, then the longer third side is opposite the larger included angle. Okay, so if I have two sides of one triangle congruent to two sides of another triangle, so AB is congruent to XY, AC is congruent to XZ. So two sides of one triangle are congruent to two sides of another triangle, and the included angles are not congruent. So A and X, angle A and angle X are not congruent. In fact, the measure of angle A is greater than the measure of angle X. So if that's true, then the longer third side is opposite the larger included angle. So since A is a larger included angle than X is, then BC has to be a longer side than XY. So that's what we're going to conclude. Then BC is greater than YZ. Now this is called the side-angle-side inequality theorem, or the hinge theorem. Here's why it gets its nickname, the hinge theorem. When you close a door, the angle between the door and the frame, so this angle right here, at the hinge gets smaller. The relationship between the measure of the hinge angle and the length of the opposite side is the basis for this side-angle-side inequality theorem, also known as the hinge theorem. So as you close the door, the length that the door is away from the frame gets smaller. So this door is open wider, this angle is bigger, then this side is going to be bigger right there. So let's try an example together. I want to know which of the following statements must be true, and this is a multiple choice. So if I look at the picture, AS is congruent to OY, and AK is congruent to OU. So I have two sides congruent. The included angles are not congruent. Angle A is 90, and angle O is 70. So since angle A is bigger, then we know that SK has to be bigger than YU. So that's what I'm going to look for over here. So see if you can find that choice, that SK is greater than YU, and you can circle that. Okay, now the side-side-side inequality, this is the converse of the hinge theorem. If I have two sides of one triangle congruent to two sides of another triangle, and the third sides are not congruent, then the larger included angle is opposite the longer third side. So the third sides are not congruent. The larger included angle will be opposite the longer third side. So if we look at our picture right here, if BC is greater than YZ, okay, so BC is greater than YZ, so I know AB is congruent to XY, AC is congruent to XZ. So those two sides are congruent, but BC and YZ are not congruent. BC is actually greater than YZ. If that's true, if BC is bigger, then angle A has to be bigger than angle X. So the measure of angle A is greater than the measure of angle X. And that's the converse of the hinge theorem. Okay, and that's it for today. So just fill in your summary sheet on 5-7 to answer those questions. Write down anything that you have a question on and fill in the sum it up.